Once upon a time, in the days when the world was still new and wild, the rivers had no paths. They flowed wherever they wanted, flooding the valleys, drowning the trees, and terrifying the animals that lived there. One day, all the animals got together and they stood in a worried circle. "We have to do something about the river," growled Bear. "It's just too strong. I am the strongest of us all. I will block its paths with boulders." So Bear rolled heavy stones into the river one by one. The river just laughed and swirled them around before dashing past with even more force than before. Next came the busy Beavers. "We'll build the biggest dam the world has ever seen," they declared, slapping their tails on the water. But no matter how fast they worked, the water just swept through their wooden walls, washing the dams away. The birds flew up high to get a good look around. "I will call down clouds to drink the river dry," they shouted as they flew in circles above it. But the clouds only sighed and wept more rain onto the thirsty ground. Then came a soft voice. "I can help," said Turtle. The other animals blinked. You are too slow. You are too small. What could you possibly do?" But Turtle said nothing. He walked to the beginning of the river where it was still wild and free, and he sat down on a rock. He sat still. He sat silent. He sat steady. Day after day, he just sat there. The river, curious about the tiny creature that didn't seem to mind its rushing waters, slowed down to take a peek at him. It circled him once, then again, and slowly, it began to calm down. Nature saw how still Turtle's heart was, and she said, "Your patience and presence have calmed my most raging waters. From this day on, the river shall flow gently behind your paths." And so it was. From that day on, the river flowed gently behind Turtle's paths, bringing life to the land instead of fear. And that is the story of how a little turtle saved an entire forest. Now, for the Beavers, the bear, and the birds, their efforts to fix the river were driven by worry and fear. They jumped into action and tried to change things quickly, but their efforts were in vain. Do you know why? Because they didn't understand the true nature of what they were dealing with. They couldn't fix the river because they didn't know how to be still like the river, how to feel the river, how to think like the river. But Turtle was different. When Turtle decided to help, he didn't rush. He didn't try to change the river or fight against it. He simply sat down beside it and allowed the river to be. In doing so, he understood the river, and in understanding, he was able to help. Friends, sometimes in our lives, we get caught up in the current of life and forget to pause and be still. We go through our days in a frantic rush, trying to fix everything, change everyone, and achieve everything. But in doing so, we often miss the chance to understand ourselves and others better. We don't take the time to listen, to be present, and to connect with those around us. Instead, we act out of fear and worry, which can lead us to make mistakes. So the next time you find yourself in a difficult situation, remember Turtle's story. Take a moment to pause, to be still, to breathe deeply, to be present in the moment. By doing so, you will find the strength and wisdom to handle whatever challenges may come your way. Now, I want to ask you a question. Are you like the bear, the beaver, or the bird? Do you react out of fear and worry, or are you like Turtle, calm and still? Let me know in the comments below. Also, please remember to share this story with someone who needs to hear it. And if you enjoyed this story, please give this video a thumbs up. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.